Joining me now is Republican Missouri Congressman Eric Burlison on the House Oversight and Accountability Committee. Welcome to the show, Congressman. We basically saw the new guard of the Republican Party here in New York at the UFC fight, showcasing a united front. First, I want to hear your reaction.
I think it's great. Look, it's great to see that they're out and about. It's great to see that the first thing that they want to do is show unity and do so in a way that that really relates to the American people and where they're at. Look, a lot of people like UFC. It's kind of a forgotten about segment of the American populace, but it's good to see that that you've got, people all the way from Tulsi Gabbard, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Elon Musk, and Donald Trump. I mean, can you ever have written a script that would have put them all in this place?
I can assure you it was not on my bingo card. I do want to mention a New York Times article. It's criticizing Trump's cabinet picks so far, describing them as hyper macho when you talk about Matt Gaetz and Hegseth. I want to know your opinion on that as well, sir.
The insiders in Washington, D.C. and, the elite are not going to like these picks. And I think that the American people send a very strong message. They want an outsider like Donald Trump to lead transformative change. The American people are more worried about the prices on the shelves of the goods that they have to buy on the shelves, the prices of gas. They're more worried about their pocketbooks than they are about having people that they're spending money towards that are worried about programs that determine what pronouns people should be addressed, and then spending money, wasting money all over the globe outside of the United States. I think the American people are sick of it. They're sick of Washington, D.C. telling them how to live their lives, and they want transformative change. And this is what Donald Trump is going to bring to the table.
We are going to talk about this much more in a moment, but I do want to ask you, because you sit on the Transportation Committee, you and your colleagues are demanding answers from FEMA after a now fired employee directed workers to avoid homes with Trump signs. The FEMA administrator is set to testify this week. I'm curious here, sir, how will the agency hold this person or FEMA accountable?
Yeah, I think that we're gonna ask a lot of questions. We're gonna expect people to resign, and what's sad, Hannah, is that this is consistent with this administration. And look, you may not agree with the policies of the Republican Party, but don't weaponize the federal agencies against conservatives and people of a different political party. That's not what America is about. I think that this administration violated very sacred standards in these institutions, and I think it's going to take someone like Donald Trump and his cabinet, and yes, they are very, very different, but it's going to take these outsiders to come in and reset the table.
You're co-sponsoring a bill as well with Tennessee Representative Tim Burchett called the UAP Whistleblower Protection Act. If enacted, the bill would provide protections to whistleblowers who are bringing attention to federal funding that's being used to study UAPs, or, of course, unidentified anomalous phenomena. How big of a need is there for this bill, Congressman? Is there a lot that Americans just don't know when it comes to UFOs or, of course, UAPs?
It's extremely important. Hannah, we get individuals referred to us to testify, and we'll reach out to them, and they are terrified of talking to members of Congress. That's a problem. We have a very difficult time getting the approval of anyone to come into a SCIF and give us a real briefing. So, look, I think that this is greatly needed if we're going to get to the bottom of some of these questions.
Yeah, the video we're watching is so interesting there. Missouri Congressman Eric Burlison, we really appreciate your time on this Sunday afternoon, sir. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.